Ciao ragazzi, eccoci stasera con una nuova chiacchierata per fare la conoscenza con un altro dei protagonisti della prossima Red Bull XAlps 2025. Attesissima 12ª edizione della più appassionante gara di I Can Fly al mondo. Quest'anno FIVL con i suoi canali e con il sottoscritto è stata invitata formalmente e accreditata come media press nella competizione. Quindi saremo presenti nei giorni preparatori allo start, durante la gara e poi durante lo svolgimento saremo di nuovo live con i teams, i piloti, gli organizzatori che man mano avranno modo di collegarsi con noi. Ok, siamo pronti? Questa sera non indugiamo oltre, siamo pronti per parlare con... Bene, siamo questa sera con Team Rochas di NIVIUK che ci parlerà un po' della loro esperienza, della loro preparazione in merito alla Red Bull XAlps. Thank you, team. Thank you very much for reaching us.
Hello, thank you.
Good. Okay, so first of all, give us, let's say, an overlook about the involvement of NIVIUK into the Red Bull XAlps.
So we are participating on this race since already a few years. I think one of our main competitor was Gavin McLeod, the American pilot that was competing on the XAlps since many years. Now he's more on the media part, but he did I think 3 or 4 XAlps. And since 2-3 edition we came back with the Kimber. Then last time we came back also with the new harnesses with the ROP. And this year we are again here with 4 pilots. We have Céline, Tanguy, Jean, and Jared. And this year we will have also the new harness, the Rocket P. That is like kind of inflated harnesses for more performance.
Right. Yeah. What we there is a talk that we say that let's say all people involved are talking about this fact that maybe this year the very big differences will be in harnesses more than wings.
Yeah.
I mean, we see a lot of coming up, and probably this then will go down a little bit also to the normal pilots like I am. Flying only on a few days of the week.
Yeah, for sure. Until last time, it was like not in our mind to make this kind of more aerodynamic harnesses. Before it was like board harness with fairing, but not inflated like we saw the submarine appearing. I think it was now 4-5 years ago. And now we have the knowledge to make this same kind of harness, but in very light version. Actually, the one we have, it's nearly 1.5 kilo, and having the same performance as the Rocket, that is the one for the World Cup. So yeah, we made some comparison, and for sure, the gain in performance is just impressive. We didn't make a new Kimber this year, but we have this new harness, and we are really convinced that this harness will completely improve the performance of our pilot, because we saw that comparing to ROP, the drag coefficient is reduced quite a lot, and we saw it in simulation in CFD. But in reality, when you are comparing, it's very different. You are gaining really a lot in performance with this kind of harness.
A lot in performance, I see.
Yeah.
Right. And how heavy is all the pack altogether? Wing, harness, rescue?
I think 5.5, something like this. I didn't check again the last pack of Tanguy, for example. But we will be around 5.5 kilo.
Right. And
the wing is 3 kilos, the harness 1.5, 6. rescue. Now they are making super light rescue, and the backpack is we have not the lightest one, but I think it's very comfortable and very ergonomic for the pilot to carry it.
Yes.
So yeah, around 5.
Yeah, because this is also very important. They have to carry for a long time,
Yeah.
so it's not just a bag. Yeah, it must be
for sure.
absolutely, yes. But Tim, do you prepare the wing, let's say, exactly for the race? I mean, this kind of wings will reach the public, or they are really wings and harnesses made maybe in some special fabrics or something that will never reach the market?
For the wing, actually, it's the wing that we are selling to everyone. The only thing that we kind of must change is the design, the visual design, because Red Bull is asking for reducing our design to put more Red Bull logo. But the canopy, the lines, all the material is the Climber 3P we are selling. It's exactly the same. After, for the harness, for now, the Rocket P is only for the Red Bull XAlps athletes. It will probably change, but for now, this harness is only developed for these 4 pilots until today. As I said, perhaps it will change, but we developed this harness for them.
Right. And so, Tim, you really made made to measure. I mean, different sizes compared to the size of the pilot.
It depends. It depends on the things, but yeah, there is some part of the harness that are like made on measurement of the pilot, because we want to reduce the weight, we want to optimize every part. So yes, for sure there is some points that we are doing for the pilot. It's not something that you can do in big quantity because after it's difficult to manage. But when it's for a race like this, for 4 pilots that we are helping them for the race, yeah, we are doing this.
Right. And Tim, do you have also a following team which will go through all the route? I mean, are you also following directly the pilots?
Yeah. On my side, I'm the main supporter of Tanguy. So I will be on the race for sure, following him during the competition. But I'm also in support, in kind of back support for the other NIVIUK pilots that need helps. If they have some question on all time on the wing, on the harnesses, or if they need to have some help on the setting of the harness, I will be there on the pre-week, so we can always help them in any case.
I see. How does it work? If maybe during a landing they cut some something on the wing, or are you going to make a reparation directly on the site, or there are an extra wing maybe that can be used? How is it?
Yeah. They will have an extra wing for sure. We hope that they are not finishing in a tree, so they will not destroy it. That they say the first one. But it can happen. It happened to Tanguy last time. So in case if it's only a small damage, or if you just have to repair something on the wing, you can put rip stop. I did it last time in the middle of the night. But we repair the wing. If it's same, it's just few lines, we are repairing them. But if there is too much damage, if it's very destroyed or you cannot use the wing anymore, we have this wing as backup. But we have to stick all the Red Bull XAlps logo, all the Red Bull XAlps partner on the wing, on the new wing, before starting again the day. So yeah, it's a challenging thing because you have to stick this in the middle of the night on a parking or on the ground somewhere, and it's not always super easy. That's why we are trying as much as possible to use the materials they have at the beginning, and then if it's too much, it's too much, so you have to change.
It's like the Formula One mechanics when the pilot destroy the car during the day and they have to work all the night. Yes.
I remember last time Tanguy made a small tree landing. It was not the last day, it was just the day before they arrive. And he pulled the night pass on that night. So he came in the middle, I think it was 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 a.m. And I had like 1 or 2 hours to repair while he was sleeping a bit, and then he start again. So
then start again.
it was a long night.
Tim, when you think about a wing for this kind of race, how do you balance performance and safety? Because I always think that a wing like the one they are using, for sure they are super pilots, because if you are competing in the XAlps, you must be a super pilot. But also maybe you are competing for 10, 12 days, one day after the other. So you become also very tired, and it's not so easy maybe to control a wing.
It's something that when we are designing an XAlps glider, we know that they will fly it in great condition, but also in super shitty condition. So it's something that you have to take into account, that you want to make an easy glider, like collapsing resistance, having quite good low speed tendency. I mean, when you want to top land, you have to play with the brakes. You have to have a long brake travel. The wing that is resisting quite well to the low speed. Wings that can also fly under the rain, because it's something that they are trying to avoid most of the time, but for sure it can happen. So we have to balance between all these factors, but also having something that is performing well. So we have to balance between safety, easiness of flying, performance, and lightness. This is 4 points that we have to take into account when we are developing in this kind of gliders. When I say lightness, it's we are making a lot of research in structural simulation, also in material, in order to make more hole as we can inside the canopy, to reduce the weight by using very thin nitinol, all these kind of things. But it has to be in a way that you do the glider, but if you go too far, the wing will have some deformation, and if you have some deformation, you will have less performance. So we have to balance with this. And then when you switch to the performance, you have to find for sure a not super compact glider, because if you want to have good performance, for sure you have to have around 7 aspect ratio on this kind of glider. You can have less, you can have more, but I think it's 7 of aspect ratio, or like 6.9 like we have. It's a good balance. It's something that the wing have a good aspect ratio, you have good glide, but it's not moving too much. If you go too high, we will have to put more sails, but if we put more sails, we will have more weight. So it's a balance between this aspect ratio, the number of sails we want to put in the glider, and after there is the airfoil and all this that will help for making this good balance, for sure.
And I believe that when you touch one point, then all the other points need to be fine-tuned again.
Exactly. It's always a balance. In a glider, it's a compromise on between many things, many aspects. So you have to take care about all these points, and when you change something, you have to check that the other points that were good before are still good. So it's quite a complicated job for
Yeah.
this kind of
Y-
thing.
You make these all these tests with the pilots of the XAlp, or you have other testing pilots or a simulation in some ways?
Most of the time we are working in, I mean, internally with the R&D team we have for developing the wing. But for sure, some pilots, some close pilot are also flying with us often, testing the harnesses, give us feedback
Mhm.
on the wing, on the harnesses for the size, the comfort, uh, going to test them in different conditions that we are usually working on here in Verbier. But I mean, most of the time we are making the biggest part of the job in our side internally. And then when we have something that we think that is close to be finished, um, we are sharing it with the pilot.
Right.
For example, Tanguy is one of the close pilot that is factory pilot in NIVIUK. So for the XAlp equipment, it's quite often that he's coming or we are giving him the equipment, he's testing and giving us feedback. It's the same for the backpacks. The backpacks, it looks like super simple, but um, they are doing something special. They are running for hours on the ground,
Yes.
on flat road or hiking up. Uh, so it need to be tested in a proper way, and in the field they will use it. So even the backpack, we are testing them for quite a while before the race to
Right.
find the good balance on all the points.
Right. Tim, what do you think about the route this year? When I saw it, I thought, well, if they are not flying this year, it's gonna be very tough.
Yeah. It's well, how to say? Yeah, as you say, I think if it's not a good week, I I, I don't know if it will be possible to finish. I mean, I'm not sure that we will have 20 pilots in goal this year. It's a
Yeah,
challenging route for me.
yeah. And what always astonished me when we think about races like this, we have seen it at the Dolomiti Superfly, at the Born to Fly a few days ago. So this kind of race, after so many days, you see so many pilots that they are still all together. And for
Mm-mm-mm.
example, what we have seen also 2 years ago, in 24 hours, 15, 16 pilots arrived. I mean, the level is so high at the moment.
Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. No, it's crazy. It's increasing every year. We can see that all pilots like Kriegel are just still going crazy. Young pilots that are coming from nowhere are also super impressive. So yeah, the level is increasing every year, and but I think in a route like this year, it can be a bit different. I mean, we are crossing the Alps like 2 times like this.
Yeah,
Last time it was more following some kind of valley or ridge, or it was kind of more evident to follow all. I mean, one after the other, and the conditions were good. And I think when conditions are good, it's not in this kind of conditions that big difference can be made. We always, I've seen when Kriegel was doing this crazy distance in front of the other, it was most of the time when it was tricky conditions. Uh,
yeah,
if you're escaping like a special condition in an area, then you are in front of this area and then the other are stuck inside this bad weather. So yeah, this can be probably a bit different this year as the route is crossing the Alp and not following the main chain.
yeah,
But if it's really good condition like we had 2 years ago, perhaps can be the same. But
yeah. True,
I'm
absolutely.
not sure.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. And also because this year they are crossing the Alps right away the first day, coming down
Yeah.
to Italy. I mean, if you look at the map and you look at the mountains that there are in the middle there, it's crazy. So it can be
Yeah,
really,
it's really impressive, I think.
really tough. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tim, we have seen so many changes in the recent years in paragliding equipment, so many innovation. I mean, talking, for example, about the XAlp, if we think about maybe 5 or 6 edition ago, the rucksack were weighing 10 kilograms or 12 kilograms, and now you told me you are around 6. So it's unbelievable what technology and innovation have done. What do you have in your drawer that you can tell us for sure something new that is going to come up?
Something new in NIVIUK or in the world of paragliding?
No, in the world, but especially in NIVIUK as something that you are thinking about. I don't know, going more since you have made, for example, this new harness. Maybe try to develop that one more than something else.
Yeah, for sure. This new kind of harnesses, like we have the Rocket P, we see that it's improving really a lot the performance. Before we were only focusing or mainly focusing on the performance of the glider, but now it's a bit more difficult to have more performance with the glider. We made some big steps in the past, and now we are like in a kind of medium level, and it's difficult to make this step up. I'm sure that we will be able to make this step up in the next year with some things that we are developing and research we are making. But actually, it's a bit difficult. We are reaching a kind of limit. As I said, I'm sure that in a close future we will be able to make this step up. But for now, it's a bit more difficult, and we see that we have a lot of opportunity with the harnesses, doing this inflated harness, doing the same but in super light equipment. We can win a lot of performance. We can reduce the drag a lot with these kind of things, and for sure, it's at the start. I mean, since the beginning, we have seen this submarine that we also develop on our side, the Rocket P. We are making them much more easier to use. With the XAlp harness, now we have something that it's okay. You are in something, but it's super easy to wear, super easy to step in or step out.
Right.
And yeah, we are working on this direction quite a lot.
Right.
And I think we can improve.
Yeah, because for sure, this kind of harness, if the submarine, it's okay for PVC competition, that you have a fixed takeoff, more or less a fixed landing and so on. For I can fly, it's completely different. Maybe you are taking off on a small place with some stones and so on. So you really need something that you can really walk and keep your feet on the ground easily. Otherwise, it's not going to be possible. Absolutely. Yeah, for
and
sure.
you have,
Sorry.
Yeah, and you have to also take the balance of the lightness with the EV equipment for PVC. We are using some materials. We are using some technology for the protection and these kind of things. And on the light equipment, we have to think it differently for having something light but still performant.
Yes, sure. So I can't wait to see which will be the next step, because for sure now we have wings that fly more or less like, I mean, twice than what they were using to fly in the past. So the step was enormous. And if it's going to be a new one, we really look forward to see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tim, thanks very much for this explanation about NIVIUK on the XAlp.
You're welcome.
We will be at the start, at the prologue, we're looking for the athletes. So I
Yeah.
will be there too, so we can say hello in person.
For
And
sure, I'll be there.
yes, thanks very much for this interview.
Thank you.
And so see you in Kitzbühel.
Yeah, tata. See you.
Thank you.